Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk. We're back again with you guys for another show, for another episode of our brand new series of Tactical Breakdown, in which I take a look at the players that Arsenal should be signing, could be signing, and fingers crossed will be signing come this summer, with players arriving at London Colney and signing on that dotted line to sign for the Gunners. We can only pray that soon we will get one of these signings done, but recent days has told us that maybe we are in with a shot of getting a few deals done, although with the whole Adidas Puma kit launch thing going on, maybe we won't see any signings until that point, but we are getting much closer to seeing someone signed for the Arsenal, especially the guy I'm going to be talking about today, with recent developments occurring today telling us that maybe he will be signed. Before we get into the video, if you are enjoying the series, again, please like, please subscribe, and leave your comments on who we think we should get. Massively appreciating the comments, as always. Some fantastic positive notes that have come from the last couple of days, and I really do appreciate and look and read every single one of your comments, even the mean ones. And I am enjoying reading through some of them, and there's some comedic value to plenty and some really good football knowledge coming from you guys as well, which is great. But this guy I'm going to be talking about today has been requested for the last week. Plenty of people have been telling me to review this guy, and that's exactly what I'm going to do for you guys today. We're going to get into talking about Alexis Claude-Maurice. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Claude, what a perfect name for an Arsenal player. He's finally getting his dream come true. But let's talk about Claude-Maurice then, and talk about what type of guy he is. Well, he's 21 years old, first of all. He's a left winger, and that means that we've been linked with left wingers, it seems, or some with the likes of Fraser and Carrasco, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a second. But we've been linked with a left winger all summer. We seemingly need backup in that position. But again, when we talked about in our video yesterday, in which I looked at William Saliba, I was a little bit disappointed with the links to him, because I thought we needed someone more established, someone who's scoring more goals, someone who's going to be fit and ready for the Premier League. And for a 21-year-old, maybe they are more ready than I think, but I've still got that level of apprehension about signing someone of that age. But maybe he can come in and really do the business. So let's give you some breakdown and background on him. Left wing, as I said, 5'9", very small, very technical, low centre of gravity. He's right-footed. Now, for a right-footed left winger, inverted winger, we often see them moving onto the inside, very similar to Carrasco. Right-footed like Fraser as well, though Fraser, as we know, is a lot more ambidextrous, but that's not to say that Claude-Maurice cannot use his left foot. He certainly can. If you look at the heat map that you can see on the screen right now, you can see that it's very intense. Maurice does a lot of running throughout the game. He likes to cut inside. He likes to bring the ball inside, and that is where a lot of his goals are coming from. Not only that, but we're seeing a lot of goals that are also coming from being fortuitous and in the box and at the right place at the right time, and his movement has been excellent in the last season for Lorient, and we've really seen some improvement go through his game. This has been a bit of an education for me, getting to know a little bit more about Claude-Maurice, but what I've discovered is certainly really positive and really hopeful that maybe he can replicate some of the form he's shown for Lorient this season, for Arsenal maybe next season if he signs. Obviously, the links are there. Supposedly, it's a 16 to 18 million pound deal that could be looking to be done. They seemingly want 20 million euros. We offered 60 million euros, which was rejected, and 18 million euros looks to be the fee that could get settled on by the two clubs if we are to sign him. Now, we want someone with goals, and this guy certainly can score a fair few. He scored 14 last season. The assists were a little bit down in terms of only 3 assists, but 14 goals last season. And what you're seeing on the screen now is an array of some of those goals that he scored. As you can see, he loves cutting inside, hitting that ball across the keeper. But not only that, he's confident on his left foot, and he's easily able to slot it past the keeper using that left foot. But he's definitely an esteemed player in terms of outside the box shots. He loves curling it in past the keeper. He loves a low driven shot into that bottom left-hand corner. And if we're able to get someone like Claude-Maurice in, we need that different element, that different style, that unpredictability that maybe he brings to the team, because not only can he cut inside, but he can use that left boot to be able to get to the byline and play balls into the box, which would be really valuable for the team. And we need this sort of attribute in our Arsenal side coming season. So in terms of small stats then, shooting, let's look at shooting. We've looked at some of the goals he scored, but he's taken about on average just about 2 shots per game. 2 shots per game, nowhere near the amount that Carrasco was bringing us, but more around the factor of what Ryan Fraser would have brought us. But the fact is 46.7% of those are going on target, so just under 50-50. So you've got a 50-50% chance that he's hitting the target. But as I said, he's a young player, 21 years old, and that will develop and that will improve as he gets a little bit older, as he starts to mature and really hone his skills. And hopefully a club like Arsenal, he's definitely able to do that. Moving forward then, in combination with shooting, needs to be talking about how good this guy is as a dribbler. Dribbling is very key for our wingers. We know from Alex Iwobi is pretty much the only guy in our team that can really take the ball and run with it. And he does that to great success. And there's the same thing that can be said for Alexis Claude-Maurice as well. Dribbling is doing about 7.95 dribbles per game. That is an extremely high amount of dribbles, much more than Fraser, more up there with the likes of Carrasco in terms of similarities there again. And if we were to someone like Tierney at left back, you'd see so much going down that left-hand side, so much ball carrying being done by the pair. So if we were to get those two in, I'm liking what the both would bring to us this season, most surely. And he's got a 70.6% success rate in those dribbles, which is extremely high again. Really, really consistent in the amount of well-timed dribbles, well-done dribbles that he's doing, getting past players, taking players on, either taking the ball to have a shot or passing the ball on to one of his teammates. If we look then at his passing, because his passing was also very key, 27 passes just over played each game, 80.5% success rate for a 21-year-old. That is really, really good to see that he's putting that much effort into the accuracy and the honing of those skills. And it's good to see he's got an over 80% success rate already at such a young age. Long passing, doesn't really use his long passing stats, and you wouldn't really see that much from a winger. Long passing, you usually see it from either the centre midfielders, centre backs, or your full-backs trying to play those balls in behind. Claude-Maurice does not have that in his repertoire. He's doing less than one per match with 47.2% accuracy when he does. So he's not really using that part of his game. You could say that's possibly a weakness, but I don't really think it's part of his game that he uses all too often. It's not something that I'd be concerned about whatsoever. His crossing, though, crossing is something that we need in the Arsenal side. We need someone who's better at corners, someone better whipping free kicks in, and someone in the free play and from open play being able to put accurate crosses into the box for the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette, who are Lacazette for sure is still adept with his head, shall we say. But we need those balls being going in the box, and he's only playing about 1.44 crosses per game with a 47.2% success rate. So again, it's very similar to his long passing. It's not really that equipped into his arsenal, and he doesn't really use his passing to cross the ball all that often. If you wanted crossing in your team, Fraser is definitely the person that you would look at if you want more crossing to go, because Fraser does it so often. It's definitely his key feature. It's not for Claude-Maurice. As you've seen from the stats, his style was very much taking players on, getting the ball as close to the goal as he can before taking a shot, either from just outside or fortuitously in the right position in the box. And that's the type of player that he is. He's more of a Carrasco than a Fraser. So depending on what you think Arsenal need, make your decision on whether you think Claude-Maurice is the player for us. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But as we know, my personal favourite stat when looking at a winger is looking at their recovery, seeing how many times they go into the opposition half, steal the ball and get the ball in our possession so we can counter, not just in our own half, but as quickly as possible in the opposition's half. And this is something I much enjoy from Claude-Maurice. 3.62 recoveries made each game, with over half of those, 60.3% of those, done in the opposition half. A really fantastic and positive stat that the Frenchman has, and hopefully you can definitely add that if he was to sign, to really start to steal ball from the opposition players in the opposition half and see it on a consistent basis, an improved basis for Arsenal, because I think it's a stat and a trait of Claude-Maurice that we can definitely steal and use to our own benefit. So my personal thoughts are, most certainly he's someone that I wouldn't be disappointed to see sign. If it meant that we weren't then getting Carrasco or Fraser, maybe I would be slightly disappointed to think that the best that Arsenal can do to bring in a winger is sign a 21-year-old from the second division in the French league at Lorient. Maybe that's naive, maybe that's me underrating him, but I still am leaning, especially in this position, to bring in someone with more established quality, and I don't think Claude-Maurice has that. But his statistics and the way that you can see that he plays his game are very positive. I think he's got a really bright future, and maybe it's worth taking a punt. But if it is to be believed that we have this £40 million budget, is it worth spending 15 to 20 million on a 21-year-old that's going to back up and give us depth in that position? I'm still here or there, but please tell me in the comments your thoughts. Do you think we should be signing Claude-Maurice? In terms of alternatives, go back and check out our 2 videos, one on Ryan Fraser, which you can see there. I'll leave the links in the description for you, and one on Yannick Ferreira Carrasco. Those 2 are the other 2 that we're really being linked to in terms of wingers. Hakim Ziyech is the other one. Tomorrow you will see a video on Hakim Ziyech, barring any massive developments that go on in Arsenal sphere. But I want to do a video on Hakim Ziyech because the fact that he's going for only a 25 million buyout clause is, for me, a no-brainer. So I want to have a little bit more of a delve into the Moroccan and get some video. But tell me again, let's stick with the focus. Claude-Maurice, what do you think of the Frenchman? If you like him, tell me. If you don't, tell me. If you have no opinion, tell me. But explain to me what you think. And any other players you think I should be looking at, leave it in the description below. And if you've enjoyed it, please give it a like. Please subscribe. If you're new around here with those notifications, click that little bell and make sure you never miss a show in the future, because we'll be back again very, very soon with another tactical breakdown. And as always, up the Arsenal.